Now we have arrived at the last and final pillar of the conversion aspect. And this is actually the UX and UI of your whole customer journey, of the whole experience, of the whole website, the landing pages, everything. UX stands for user experience, UI stands for user interface. And this especially refers to how are people navigating through your landing page, through your checkout, through your website, through your shop, through your whatever sign up, registrations form, or even account creation forms that you might have. And by now, most of the tools that we would use, for example, if we build these brands, things like Shopify, things like Samcart, Thrivecart, Copecart, Webflow, many of these tools are really well designed just by default. It is really hard to mess up the UX today. A couple of years ago, when people were custom coding their websites, or they were using WordPress and some plugins, or they were just using really outdated shop tools, you basically lost a lot of your customers that were really well sold, emotionally sold on your landing page, and then they tried to technically buy your product, and they failed because there were so many long forms, and they were getting into thinking mode again by thinking, okay, where do I actually buy it, and why does this extra cost come on top of it now, and how does this work, and do I need to click here, where's the button? And there could be technical bugs why people are technically not able to buy a product, even though they wanted to. And then founders and marketers worry why they have a low conversion rate, even though their marketing is so good, because their tech and their tools are just so bad. So we're pretty lucky that basically this whole interface game has been solved by many other companies already that just have really, really good forms, really good registration processes. That, for example, we have 10, 20 years where everyone on the internet that sold stuff, basically the internet as a whole evolved, and everyone learned what to do and what not to do in checkouts. We now all know that drop-down menus, especially on mobile, are really, really bad for your conversion. If customers have to scroll some minutes to find their country, to just insert that country, and now they need to draw their credit card and put on the numbers, so people use Apple Pay or Google Pay, or just use PayPal, which is all immediately pre-signed in. So there's a lot of really, really good stuff already happening. I give you one more example that I actually developed, I would say 5 years ago with my agency, and now I see more and more brands and businesses using it. When you have a landing page and you sell a product that is like a premium product, maybe it's a higher price product between 100 and 300 euros, and some people might get very, they're very price sensitive. They could be very confused or put off by seeing that high price in the early stage of the sales process. For example, in these cases, you wouldn't put the price in the God spot. You wouldn't put the price in the why section. You wouldn't even put the price in the what section. You don't put it in the how section, you don't put it in the trust section, and you maybe put it in the call to action section. What a lot of marketers did previously was that they have a checkout where the price is shown when people put the product into the cart, or they see a checkout order summary with the price, and then the price says $2.99, which is fairly high for some people, especially if they buy for the first time from a brand. So what happened was that a lot of landing pages didn't feature the price at all, and they didn't, or maybe they put it into the call to action section, but the buttons from all the other sections, they were already directly going into the checkout. So a lot of people had this experience that they landed on a page. They liked what they read in the God spot, in the why, in the what section, and they clicked on one of these buttons. And they were immediately shown and thrown into the checkout, where they, for the first time, see the price of the product. Without context, without knowing that, is this like a good deal now, or is this a high price? Is this a low price? There's no price justification. And most landing pages had a lot of call to action buttons. Like in every section there was a button, and this button always sent people directly to the checkout or to the add to cart on the next page, where for the first time they see the price. And this led to very low conversion rates. So what we did, we came up with the scroll down landing page mechanic, which basically is when you configure all these call to action buttons, you don't tell the call to action button to send the customers to the next page and to the checkout. It says scroll down. And this is not, it's not something that the customer sees. The customer sees, yes, give me the product. Yes, I want to buy the product. Yes, give it to me. And it doesn't send it to the next page. It actually scrolls down to the call to action section. And what this call to action section then can do is it gives a justification to the price. It, for example, shows if you buy this product now, if you order now, you get this, you get this, you get this, you get a lot of value. You know what you get, you know like exactly what is all in the order. And then there's a higher value associated, and you could even show like, if you buy this product here, if you make the call to action now, you get all this stuff, which is if you buy it on a single purchase, or if you buy it usually without this special deal here, you pay this, you would pay this, you would pay this, you would pay a higher price. And now in this special bundle, you get all this amazing value for just $2.99. And there can be visual graphic design elements that make the $2.99 seem like a really good deal. And you can kind of play with the psychology and the way that this price is perceived by the viewer. And then only in the call to action section will the button actually go to the checkout. So there's no longer this, I land on the page, I like what I see, I click on buy now, I get it to the checkout without really having understood what's the value that I buy when I buy this product. I see the price and I drop off and I leave the checkout because it's too expensive for me. In this case, they get on the page, they read the emotional sales stuff, they like what they see, they click, I buy the product, they scroll down to the call to action section where a huge price justification is made. So they know, oh, all this for just $2.99, whoa, obviously it's a high price, but I get a good deal. And then they click and they go to the checkout where they again see a $2.99. It was very important that this price doesn't change. No shipping added there, no handling, no other hidden fees, no tax, value-added tax in the checkout. If the customer mentally agrees on this value that he wants to buy it for $2.99, it's very important that this number is kept throughout the whole checkout. And then they see $2.99 again, they put in their address, they put in their name, they put in their credit card, and they buy the whole product. They land on a landing page and then on a thank you page. Potentially you could do some one-click upsells there, depending on how far you want to go with your upsells. And so this change in customer journey, in customer interface and experience, sometimes doubled, tripled, quadrupled our conversion rate because we were no longer struggling with overwhelming customers with a high price before they knew what they were buying in the whole order. And this is just one example of, let's say, 500 hacks and tips that we used and we developed and tested and just experimented with over years and millions in marketing budget to figure out what works best in conversion optimization, in getting sales, getting profitable, scaling marketing. And I will be very happy to talk much more deeper about all these topics, especially in other full courses. But overall, just the more you immerse yourself with me, with us here in this holistic thinking, the more better you get at understanding what really works in digital business. Now we're basically finished with the conversion part, which is the fifth pillar of the six. And the next one is the CLTV part, which actually makes a lot of references to the product and the perfect product checklist. So happy to continue with you there in a minute.